Welcome to Nursing 4400, Population Health and Nursing. As you come to your main homepage, you'll notice that there's a Start Here menu, syllabus, modules, and the schedule. One of the handiest places to go will be modules, which you can find here or over on the left-hand side. Either way, when you click to it, you will see everything laid out that you need to know for your entire semester. Under Course Orientation, you can go to the Start Here menu. It has quite a bit of information, which includes letting you see the syllabus, a little bit more about your instructor, whose information will be placed right up there. You'll also notice that there's no required textbook for this course. There are some optional ones, but you can do fairly well without it, and all of you should at this point own an APA manual, so that's not a new purchase. There's course resources pages, technical requirements. These other pages are fairly standard regardless of what course you are in. So when you go back to the modules page, you'll see that there's a few different things at the beginning. The Start Here, the course resources, course expectations tells you a little bit about the structuring of this class as well as some of the theoretical foundations that it's based on. There's a course schedule. Now the course schedule is incredibly handy. When you go into that link, you can click to preview, and you will see that there is an entire thorough mapping done in there. Not only can you see per week, the date ranges, what unit it is, what you need to be doing as a student to prepare, and what is due, and how many points it's worth. But as you go down, it shows you when each assignment can be started and when each assignment is due. So some of these assignments can be started week 1. We'll get into that more as the semester goes forward. But some of these can be started very early on and then continued on until their due date, which is the far end of the bar on the right. Furthermore, underneath you will see that there's a week-by-week play of exactly what is done, as well as under the optional category you see where you can kind of look ahead and try to move forward for the upcoming weeks. So that is all on the course schedules page. You'll also notice, this is the video you're currently watching, but down below there's a quick access section. These are some of the assignments that it may be a good idea to take a look at early. Many of these, as you can see, are not due until much later in the semester. This one's due week 14, week 7, 14, and 14. But many of these can be started much earlier. The time log can be started as early as week 2. The population engagement reflection can also be started week 2. The community engagement can be started day 1. That you can get into right away and start playing around. And then the extra engagement opportunities are technically available at any time, but that generally students tend to focus on later on in the semester. There's an instructional video for each of those to give you more information. There are 1 or 2 other assignments that it's good to look ahead as well. This is an interactive class, so there's no required textbook, there's no required PowerPoints, there's no, we don't have any exams in this course, we also don't have any large research papers in this class. The trade-off is very interactive. It involves you going out into the community and really some hands-on type experience, as well as a presentation that you're going to be putting together. So you will notice that each module has an intro to the unit, as well as what you do each week, and again that's reflected in that document I showed you earlier in the schedule as well. But I want to bring your attention to week 3, where it has a community assessment, Get on the Bus. That does involve you physically getting onto an actual bus. You do need to ride the bus for at least an hour. There's often prep time to figure out which bus schedule you're taking, particularly if you're not familiar with the bus. As a Weber State student, you also have access to a free bus pass through Weber State, and you can ask your instructor more information about how to register for that and get your free UTA pass so that you can ride this bus without having to pay anything. But that does take quite a bit of time. It also takes time to type up the information afterwards. There's a reflection piece as well. And so keeping in mind that this is a 4-credit-hour class, and it's easily acceptable to spend 3 hours per credit hour outside of class, that adds up to a pretty good chunk of time. And so although you are riding the bus that week and typing up this report, which will take some time, for a 4-credit-hour class particularly, that tends to serve as a capstone for your entire BSN, that is still well under the bounds of time that could possibly be spent in a class that is quite this intense. Now, if you look down, again, each module or unit will have an overview and then the weekly assignments. There will be videos in place for many of these assignments to help provide extra clarity. But I want to bring your attention down quite a ways to the very end. Now, don't get too far ahead of yourselves. I don't want you to panic and have to worry about that yet. But at the end, there will be a population health application project due. It's not due until week 13, but there are a couple of options. There's presenting about your population, which you'll select week 2, in the community, or there's presenting to a school on a topic that they choose, or there's a film case study option. The reason I bring your attention to this is as we progress through the semester, by about week 6, you should probably start peeking at this, because if you, either individually or as a group, decide to do the school presentation or the population community presentation, either way, you would be doing a contract during week 9. Now here's the Community School Advisor Agreement, and that's a document that you, either individually or one person from a group, need to make sure you have signed that says, I'm going to be doing a project either in your school or in your community-based facility, and I need it to be known that we both agreed upon a time and a place and a topic, and that way, if something goes wrong later in the semester, you have something in place showing that you did all the planning that you could on your end, and that way your professors can work with you a little more closely and try to help you out. Every once in a while there's a glitch in the system, and so that kind of helps save you in a pinch. I want you to peek ahead, kind of run through this semester, but also I understand it can be overwhelming. So I would recommend in the beginning closing down some of these units. There's a 1% incentive you can get at the end of the semester, and always more APA resources, because everybody loves APA. But you can close some of these down and not need to worry about them just yet. The main assignments you'll need to worry about before you dig too far in are either that community bus assessment right here, which is week 3, or the rest of them are again listed under this quick access. Each of these is also located in the week that it's due. So the time log reflection document is also located week 14. This population engagement reflection is also located week 7, etc. Regardless of which link you click on, whether it's the one in the quick access or under the specific week, it will take you to the exact same document. So this is a very hands-on class, very interactive. I do recommend one last thing is to peek ahead just a little to week 2. You have the opportunity to select a vulnerable population that you will use as your focus for the next 14 weeks, or by that time 13 weeks. This is a first come first serve, so even if you are a hybrid student, there's an option where you can go in and claim these on a first come first serve basis on the discussion board underneath. So I recommend looking through these potentially vulnerable populations. These are populations that often face a more difficult time in terms of health access and often have more difficulties with health sustainability. So look through this list. If there's one that really stands out to you, go in and claim it. This can be a population that you either identify with and you would like to explore more fully to get other people's points of view. This can be a community that you've always been curious about, that you truly know nothing about, or anything in between. There are more than enough options on here. Each can only be selected by one student per class, but the average class has anywhere from 20 to 30 students in it, and there are definitely enough options here that no one should be running out of opportunities for selection. If there's a population that we do not have listed that really is intriguing to you, and you feel that it may be a great match, please reach out to your instructor and they can let you know whether or not that population and interacting in that way can help you meet all of the goals and objectives of this course. So I encourage you to take a few minutes, peek around, particularly in the modules page, look at the resources, the expectations, and the schedule, and please let us know if you have any questions. Welcome to the class. We're really excited you're here.